Hey everyone, thanks for coming back to the BNS channel. My name's Edie and I want to talk about bariatric surgery. This is my 5-month update. I have been doing extremely well. I very often will run into people during the day, and because I've been an open book about my surgery, they ask questions, and I love that because to me, I feel that if this surgery had not been so taboo back in the day, that if my dad had had it, he probably would still be alive today. But it was so taboo. It was, you don't talk about it, hush hush. It was something that vain people did, or it was something that only morbidly obese people over 400 pounds did, or 300 pounds did. And it's was primarily only looked at as a weight loss surgery. And that's what it's been referred to as for a really long time. I refuse to refer to it as a weight loss surgery because to me it's been more than that. It's been a life-saving procedure. It was a life-changing procedure that I know, as well as I feel now, how sick I was back then, that if I had not had it done, I probably would be on the path of death at this point. And I say that with sincerity because not only was I going through depression, I was having heart issues, diabetes, thyroid, osteoporosis. I had essential tremors and migraines, and I mean, the list just went on and on and on of all of the ailments and sicknesses that I had, and it just continued to get, to be a longer list and a longer list. And I seriously believe and know in my heart that I was either going to die on the table or I was going to die trying to live. And neither one of those is going to happen at this point. And I'm thrilled because I just know that the life changes that have happened for me have been obviously for the good, because I feel amazing. I have so much more energy. I am so much more healthy. I'm not worried about the diabetes anymore. My hip isn't hurting as much because there's not as much weight on it. I haven't gotten any migraines. My thyroid medicine keeps going down. It's just the list of, I don't have my tremors anymore. I don't even have those anymore. So, I mean, if I went back and looked at a list of all of the things that I was suffering with and compared it to today, and it's only been 5 months out from the surgery, holy Hannah, absolutely I would do it again. I would absolutely do it again. But I'm gonna tell you that if you're considering this, it's definitely something that you have to get right up here. You've got to get it right in your mind, because if you don't, one, you're either gonna gain all your weight back, or you're gonna struggle with it in a bad way for the rest of your life, because you're constantly gonna be fighting against yourself and your mind and your thoughts. So I feel that if you can get right with yourself in your head first, before you even go down or start the path of this surgery, then you are putting yourself in a much better place, in a stronger place mind-wise and environment-wise than you could even imagine. I was having a conversation with somebody today, and she was thinking about it. She said 15 years ago she started the path about doing it, and she stopped. And I said, well, you know what? I said, that just means that it wasn't the right time for you. And she's like, yeah, but I've progressively gotten worse in those 15 years. And I said, well, that's typically the case. That's typically what we do. And her too, she was thinking and saying that people were saying, well, you're not big enough for this surgery. And my response to that is, I don't care how big you are. If you're unhealthy and getting weight off or changing the way that you live can make you healthier, then I say go for it. Because if somebody looks at somebody else and says, you're too skinny to be working out, come on, they're doing it because it's the healthy thing for them to do. So if somebody is choosing to have this surgery because it's the healthy thing for them to do, to get healthier and have a better quality of life and live longer and be able to do things and experience things, then by all means, yeah, I would support that. And she said that, you know, she had a friend that passed away from what she said was complications of the surgery. And the more I listened to her, the more I was like, I don't think it's complications of the surgery that unfortunately killed this person. It was the fact that she was drinking vodka, and it was the fact that she went for some kind of a revision in Arizona so that she could be skinnier, and by the time she was done, she was like 90 pounds and unhealthy and not living the way that she should have been living. And I hate to say that, and God rest, you know, I hope she rests in peace, but when I went into this, I knew that I would never be able to drink alcohol again. And I'm okay with that because I made good with that. I don't drink alcohol, I never will again, and that is perfectly fine. I will not be eating greasy, fatty foods again. I'm okay with that. I will not be eating sugar, especially like I did. You know, it's unfortunate that there's a lot of sugar in foods that we eat, but I won't be eating it like I did. I'm going to be very, very aware of what it is that I'm putting in my mouth. Food-wise, I read all labels. I understand the importance of chewing my food. I understand the importance of not drinking while I'm eating, and that I should wait half an hour before and half an hour after. I understand what it means to chew my food properly so that it's a liquid consistency before it's swallowed. Those are the things that I came to terms with a great understanding that after this surgery, those things would be in place and part of my new life. And I strongly believe that if those aren't things that you want to have change in your life, then this surgery is not the right thing for you. It takes willpower. It takes, like with everything, right? Willpower with everything. It's an unfortunate thing that I'm the type of person that I need to be slapped upside the head before I really get something. And sometimes something drastic like this needs to be done in order for me to get it. And I got it. I got it. You know, when I quit smoking, one of the things that I used mind-wise, and this is all, it's just a mindset, right? It's just mind. It's all about your mind thinking. I would crave a cigarette while driving my vehicle, because that's usually when I would drink, and that's when I liked to smoke a cigarette. And I got to the point where I was like, you know what, Edie, you're a non-smoker. Non-smokers don't crave cigarettes. So get that out of your mind. Here's my stepson. You know, so it's all about understanding how your life will change with those things, but then also understanding that the victory you get by sticking with that program is worth not having greasy, fatty things anymore. It's worth not having alcohol. It's worth, I had friends that had this surgery done, and they went back to being an alcoholic, and they died within 6 months after the surgery. So, I mean, yeah, there's risks involved, but there's also risks involved of me living the way that I was living. I was on a path of death. I truly believe that. I truly, truly believe that. So, my purpose with this surgery and going through this program is that I can be open enough to help those that are considering or needing help or thinking about having the surgery or thinking about where they should have it done. This was something else. Very often I see on Facebook groups, I belong to a lot of bariatric surgery Facebook groups, and there's a lot of people in there that are not part of any program when they have this surgery done. And I have such a hard time understanding how they could possibly be successful without some sort of support system. When I went through this program, I had a dietitian, a nutritionist, a program manager, a surgeon, and a surgeon's nurse or assistant, as well as my own primary care doctor, my chiropractic, my cardiologist. I mean, I had a full team of people supporting me through this process. And there's so many people that will get on that page and say, well, what am I supposed to eat now? I'm 2 weeks out. And I'm thinking to myself, good Lord, I am so sorry for you, because, and I pray that you find the help, and I'll help you as much as I can, but I had a booklet to tell me what I could and couldn't eat. I had a red binder, and if anybody had the same program that I did, you guys know what the red binder is. They always used to say, bring your red binder, bring your red binder. It's got everything you need in it. And I refer back to that red binder often. You know, so I think it's super important that you not only, if you're thinking about getting the surgery, but think about where you're getting it so that you can have a program that you follow. At least a 6-month program, at least. I started my journey in November. So let's say December, because I was at the end of November. December, January, February, March, April, May. 6 months. And I went through my program fast because I was going to the doctors every 2 weeks instead of once a month. So, and I say doctors, I was going to my appointments, whether they were the dietitian appointments, the psych, that's the other doctor. I had a psychiatrist. That's super important, I think, because that's where the whole mind thing comes from. You know, you just have to understand that if this is the change that you want, then you have to make the change. If this is the change that you want, then you have to make the change. And that means no more alcohol, no more fatty, greasy foods, no more sugar. Digging in on the protein, digging in on the fiber, knowing that that's basically what you will be eating and how you will be eating for the rest of your life. And that's okay, because ultimately, I don't miss the old me. There was a lot wrong there. There was a lot wrong there, and I just don't want to go back there. I mean, did I manage to make my life as good as I possibly can? Yes, I did. I did. I have a successful business. Didn't matter how healthy I was grateful that I had a successful business. But up until, I want to say that up until 2 weeks ago, I was still in denial about my depression. Because when I would describe it, I would say, yeah, I was borderline depressed. I was super close. No, honey child, you were in it. I was depressed. I didn't want to go anywhere. I did not want to be judged. I did not want to be looked at. I did not want to get dressed up because I would have anxiety every time I'd have to get dressed up in something because it just never fit. Or I didn't feel I looked good. Or I would get to an outing and I'd feel so sick that I'd want to go home. Or I didn't feel good enough that I just wanted to be home. And I would stay home, and I didn't travel all this past year. I didn't travel anywhere. Last year, I barely traveled anywhere. Even on the free stuff that I was getting from Scentsy, on the things that I looked forward to every year, I wouldn't go. That's a sign of depression. I was there. Everybody has a different kind of depression. And just because mine looks different than somebody else's doesn't mean it wasn't depression. And that's what I finally understood. And it's a killer. When you get into a depressed mindset, it'll kill you. Because you continue to get unhealthy. You wallow in your unhappiness. You wallow in your woe is me. That whole Eeyore syndrome that I lived for so many years, I sunk in hard. And I didn't think I'd ever go back there again. But I did. And now I'm able to admit it. And that's all part of the process. It's all part of the journey. It's all part of the growth. You know, and I strongly believe this. God puts experiences in our life, whether they're good or bad, so that we can become his best teachers. And I have learned that with all of the things that I have gone through in my life, and this is just one more thing, that my purpose on this earth is to help people figure out why they're doing things and how to get through them. I try. That's all I can do is try, and experiencing those things makes it so much easier. Unfortunately, it makes it much easier for me to understand what people are going through and to give them the inspiration that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And this is just another gleaming example that I went through to show that you can come out on the other end. You know, and each time I get to the other side, I think I'm a better person. I'm in a better place. There can't possibly be anything else I need to learn. Totally wrong. Totally wrong. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm good with that. So, 5 months out is becoming a soul searching. It's becoming an awakening. And my word for 2018 at the beginning of this year was awakening. And I don't know that I really understood what that meant or what it was gonna mean, but along the way I've been awakened, and I've been given opportunities and chances to see all the things that can be changed, and the awareness, and I'm grateful. I'm very, very grateful. And if I can help even just one person make a decision to either do something about it or not do something about it, then I think I've done what I'm supposed to do, you know? I'm approximately 90 pounds down, feeling extremely energetic, healthy. My hip gives me some hard times every now and then, but certainly not to the extent that it was before. And that's considering that I'm not on any pain meds. None. Oh, that's what happened. A tree fell on the wires. That's why we had no power today. Yeah, I'm very grateful, and I think this whole process has been amazing. And people ask, would you do it again? Yeah, I'd do it again. I'd do it again. You know, if you're not on my BNS Network Edie page on Facebook, then you need to be just so that you can follow this journey along with these videos. But I put my stats up every time I go see my dietitian. I add my official stats, and it's been pretty awesome to watch the transition in the last 5 months. My next appointment is not until the 1st of December, so I'll have an official update then. But I'm approximately 90 pounds down at this point, and so that's pretty fantastic. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful to anybody that watched it to the end. I would love to know where you're at on your journey. If you would like it, share that below, so that I can support you, because that's what I'd like to do. Have an amazing day, everyone. Go make it an amazing day for somebody else, and pay it forward with kindness, would you?